introduction is the part of the paper that provides readers with the background information for the research reported in the paper. Paper here means your title and writing your proposal. This paper here means that one, or sometimes paper goes back to article also. And sometimes it goes back to your thesis and other things also. Okay, here in the part of introduction, you should talk something about the background of your title. It means that, for example, someone's title is this for example, the insanity or the delay element in Shakespeare's Hamlet. Okay, so you should talk about the delay problem. You should talk first of all about Shakespeare himself. You should give some information about Hamlet here for the reader, for the researchers, for the supervisor, for the committee members. In your introduction, then you should give something about the background of your title, okay? Its purpose is to establish a framework for the research. Why do we give some information in the introduction part? It is because we would like to establish, to make a framework for our research, for our thesis, for our article, so that readers can understand how it is related to other research. Here, it means that you can give some information about other researchers, about other research works, which happened already by others in previous times, in last, maybe other times, by other researchers about your own title also. For example, here, you can mention that, yes, Dr. Aryan, Dr. Masumi, Dr. Alavi also in their books, in their articles, have talked about the problems of Hamlet, about the delay problem of Hamlet, okay? You can mention these things also there in your introduction part because you would like to show the reader, I mean the professors, the students, the researchers, the committee members, the supervisors, that I am a knowledgeable person. I am a knowledgeable person. If you show some research by others in your introduction part, it means that you are a knowledgeable people. You have gone through some works. You have read some books. You have read some articles. So in this part, then it's okay to write something about background and research works by others. So let me send this for you. Oh my God. Yes, someone would like to join us? Copy. Yeah, come on. Text. Message. Test. Send. Okay, can you see this text now, my friends? Dear friends?
Yes, we see it.
Can you see this text I sent for you about introduction? That's okay, that's okay. And let me ask one more question. Is it possible to record our voices in this platform? Is it or not? Is it possible?
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon, sir. You're welcome.
Welcome.
How can we record? How can we record anything in platform?
I don't know record lecture.
But
I am outside. I am outside. I'm sorry.
We should send this recordings to Dr. Seyfuri to show them we held the class. So, but I don't know how to record.
Any student come?
Yeah, is there anyone to help me?
Doctor, you must use another program.
I hear you.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Can I record the screen? It's okay if I record the whole screen?
Okay, yeah.
I can record the whole screen in my phone, not only the lecture.
On your phone only. But
yes.
I have joined
but I can send it
via my laptop. Okay.
Yes.
Ivan, if any of you record just some parts of my our meeting, okay? Just a short part, okay? For example, 1 minute, sometimes 2 minutes, okay? Then you can send it into the group, and I can transfer them into Dr. Seyfuri, okay?
I will do lecture.
That's okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. This is okay, my dear friends. As I told you, about introduction, I sent you a message also. Now, in an introduction, the writer should do this thing, these steps which I tell you. Just remember, I will send these tips for you one by one after talking, okay? Don't worry about anything. I will, but just listen carefully here. In an introduction, the researcher, the student should go or should do these steps. 1, create reader interest in the topic. It means that you have chosen a topic, you have chosen a title, and I request you to do not call it this discussion and these things. I see these things. This is only title. This is only title for your thesis. Do not call it subject and other things. Okay? This is title only. Create reader interest in the topic. It means that you should talk in a way to give enthusiasm to the readers, to make them interested on your topic, on your title. Maybe I do not know anything about your title. Then you should talk in a way to maybe impel me to be interested on your title. This is the first step. 2, the second step is this. Lay the broad foundation for the problem that leads to the study. A researcher, already I told you, a researcher is someone who is going to face some problems, okay? A researcher is someone who is going to find out some problems. Then, after finding some problems, our duty, I mean the researcher's duty, is the finding of solutions for that, problems, for that problems. Here, you should talk about the problem. Which problem caused you to start writing something, writing a thesis, writing an article, writing a proposal about the case? Then it's okay. In the second step, you talk about your problem. What problems gives you a hand to start writing this article, proposal, and thesis. This is the second step. The third step is that place the study within the larger context of the scholarly literature. Scholarly literature. Scholarly literature. It means that academic way of writing. It means that you should bring, as I mentioned at the beginning, you should bring some cases of others about your title. You should mention some other works by others about your title. And the fourth step is this: reach out to a specific audience. A specific audience. Okay? It means that you have your own customers. You have your own readers. All of the people in the world are not going to read your thesis, are not going to read your article, are not going to read your ideas, to read your text. You should make some specific audience, okay? It means this. In your introduction, you should do something about these cases. Otherwise, your maybe proposal and your introduction part would not be okay or would not be in academic way. This is the case you should remember, my dear friends. Okay, let me send you these steps also. Yes, I sent you. You can collect this text from the system and you can keep it with you. Create reader interest in the topic. Second, lay the broad foundation for the problem that leads to the study. 3, place the study within the larger context of the scholarly literature. Scholarly literature means academic literature, okay? And the fourth one is reach out to a specific audience. You should specify your readers, your audiences. Not all of people are going to be your audiences, readers, customers, and these things. You should specify your audiences through your introduction for your proposal, for thesis, and for your article and anything else. The other case about your introduction is this. If a researcher is working within a particular theoretical framework, line of inquiry, the theory or line of inquiry should be introduced and discussed early, preferably in the introduction or literature review. I will tell you in that part. Remember that the theory or line of inquiry selected will inform the statement of the problem. Already I have told you. Rationale for the study, questions and hypotheses, selection of instruments, and choice of methods. Ultimately, findings will be discussed in terms of how they relate to the theory or line of inquiry that undergirds the study. Okay, let me tell you what does this sentence mean. My dear friend, you have a theory already or approach for yourself. Or as for example, you are going to read The Insanity or the Delay of Hamlet from Freud's point of view, for example, okay? Then you should talk about the theory by Freud, the theory by Jung, the theory by Hegel, and whoever theory is there. you should give some information about your theory, okay, which is there for your title. This is the another step for you. Then here, it can be written in your introduction part and your literature review or review of literature part also. Remember this. And then again, you should give some information about your statement of problem in the introduction part. So again, in statement of problem part, you will talk about it. It's okay to give some information, first of all, in your introduction also, about statement of your problem. I say to you, some problems are there, caused you to start writing something for us as your thesis, as your article. You should talk about that problem. Briefly, succinctly in your introduction part. And again, after that, I mean the statement of problem, you should talk why, the cause, why you have chosen this title for yourself, to study about it, the rationality which goes with you to write this thesis, this article. You should talk about that one also. It's okay to mention the questions which are there in your mind about your title in this part, in introduction part also. Then hypothesis. But already I mentioned you, as we are the students of English literature, then for us, in our proposal, it is enough to write research questions. We do not need hypotheses. Hypotheses belong to APA system, and in MLA system, which belongs to us, there is no need to write hypotheses. Okay? For us, just only questions are enough. It's okay to talk about such things also in this part, in this introduction part. And also, it's okay to tell us about your findings in introduction part, about your findings, and to write for us that how your findings are related to your title, are related to the area of your research. This one is also important. You can talk about it in introduction part. So let me send this one also for my friends. Yeah, this is the next step for writing your introduction. I send it to you here. You can see right now, saying that if a researcher is working within a particular theoretical framework or line of inquiry, these are same, framework or line of theoretical framework or line of inquiry. The theory or line of inquiry should be introduced and discussed early. Early means that you are going to give some information early for the reader. Before going to read the other parts of your proposal, in your introduction part, you can give some information about your title for the reader. It's okay. So again, in the introduction or literature review, remember that the theory or line of inquiry selected will inform the statement of the problem. I told you, in another part in your proposal, you will write about your statement of problem. But to give an earlier information for the reader, it's okay to talk just briefly about the problem or statement of problem in the introduction part for the readers, for the supervisors, for the committee members also. And again, you can talk about the rationale of the study, then questions and hypotheses. As I mentioned, mostly for your thesis, you can have three questions. And in any chapter, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, you can answer for each question. This is the usual way which we follow. 3 questions for any thesis of English literature students are enough. Sometimes people and students are writing 4, 5, 6, 7 questions, but these are not okay. Just you can write 2 questions and they are enough. And in any chapter, you can answer for each of your questions which you provided in your proposal for us. And after questions and hypotheses, selection of instruments and choice of methods. My dear friends, you will have the part methodology and instruments in your proposal, but for us, methodology is enough. Methodology means that with which instruments and in which ways you are going to collect your data. Okay? Your data. In what ways and through which instruments you are going to collect your data for your thesis. Remember this. And luckily, for the students of English literature, there is just one way. Our methodology mostly is a librarian methodology, librarian way of collecting data, because our study is a qualitative one, not quantitative one. In quantitative studies, we need many instruments, okay? For example, interviewing to someone, questionnaires, and maybe sometimes going here and there to collect some data. But for us, a librarian methodology is enough. Librarian methodology and tool for us are only books, articles, sometimes some papers, and sometimes also if the writers are alive, are living still, we can have interview with the writers, okay, from all over the world through internet and these things. So here about our methodology and selection of instruments, we can just claim that for the English literature studies, we need to read some books, some articles, okay, some papers, some internet sources, to collect our data. Okay, this is the way for us, and there is no other way for the English literature students. So here in the introduction part, you can just mention something about your methodology. Yes, this study is a qualitative study, and the researcher, through reading some books, through reading some articles, through reading primary and secondary sources, will collect the data, and then he or she will analyze them to maybe get some findings to show that these findings are related to the title which already has been chosen by the researcher. So this is the other step for writing the introduction part for my dear friends. The other case is this: theories, theoretical frameworks, and lines of inquiry may be differently handled in quantitative and qualitative endeavors, okay? Challenges. As I told you, in quantitative studies, one uses theory deductively and places it toward the beginning of the plan for the study. The objective or the aim. Objective and aim are same words for the thesis, for the proposal and these things. The objective is to test or verify theory. One thus begins the study advancing a theory, collects data to test it, and reflects on whether the theory was confirmed or disconfirmed by the results in the studies. This way of challenging does not belong to us because we are English literature students. But the other one is important for us. It says that in qualitative inquiry, the use of theory and of the line of inquiry depends on the nature of the investigation. In studies aimed at theory, for example, theory and theoretical tenets emerge from findings. Much qualitative inquiry, however,